Welcome everyone to another episode of Around the Block Talk. Today we have with us Professor N.K. Bhandari. He is the founder and CEO at Infinity Law Tech Educational Services, also the director at ILTES Online Global Academy. He is a senior professor of law in India with 45 years of teaching research and administration for 4 leading universities in India. He is a jurist, mentor, and a law tech influencer. He has a rare distinction of delivering close to 60,000 lectures in the last 45 years in Indian and overseas universities. He has made nearly 200 educational films in technology, IPR, human rights, and constitutional law. His publication includes 6 books and nearly 103 are research papers on diverse subjects. Professor Bhandari is a life member of leading education institutions such as Indian Law Institute, Salzburg Seminar, Association of Contemplative Thinking in Education, member of Global Blockchain Association. He has organized nearly 85 international and national conferences. He is IDEA's leading expert in law tech domain. So it is a rare privilege to have such a distinguished speaker with us today. And with that, I welcome you to the talk show. And we are very interested to hear what you have to share with us.
Thank you, Pratik Jain. And thank you, Information Data System USA and its entire team for giving me this opportunity to share some of my thoughts on blockchain technology and the related issues on your platform. I am also thankful for your generous introduction about me. Well, I would say that I am still a learner, and I believe that a teacher is a lifelong learner. So during last 5-6 years, post my superannuation from active services, I have been focusing, understanding, trying to absorb the new transformational technology such as blockchain, artificial intelligence, IoT, and now recently Metaverse. And our focus is mainly to understand the technologies which are highly disruptive in nature, which are going to shake up the world, and what are the legal and ethical issues engaged or associated with these technologies, as they are going to affect millions and billions of people across the world. So with a team of around 100 members, active members from India and abroad, different countries, we are working to educate the people, the students, the young force, to learn about these technologies and also their interface with regulatory system. So this is all my humble effort, and along with my team for last 5 years, we are doing this edutech work.
Right, so that's great to know. So also, now that you're coming from the field of education, and whenever a new technology comes up or a new skill set comes up, the first task is actually to upskill and educate the masses into this new technology. So we would really like to learn from you what is the scope of blockchain in education and how are things happening today?
Yes, it's a very relevant and contemporary issue. Well, Mr. Pratik, as I told that we are doing educational work in the domain of technology. So when we talk of blockchain technology, which is not very old, I may say 14 years, 2009, Satoshi Nakamoto invented this blockchain technology in the backdrop of creating cryptocurrency, that is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin or cryptocurrency as a whole is one major aspect of the blockchain technology. But there are many other applications, diverse applications of blockchain technology. And one such application I would share with you is in educational sector. Well, in educational sector, I recollect a survey made by Gartner in 2019 that only 2% of the institutions or universities, educational institutions, are using blockchain technology for educational purposes. But in 2021, the same company made another survey and noticed that close to 20% of the institutions are now adopting blockchain technology in education sector. Naturally, the question comes up in our mind that how in education sector this distributed ledger technology, which is transparent, immutable, cryptographed, and distributed across the nodes will help in educational sector. So my submission is, my understanding is that first of all, it is immutable and transparent. Therefore, all such universities or institutions can upload and share the data, educational data of their students, degrees, diplomas on the blockchain platform, which ensure the genuineness. Because nowadays we find that fake documents are created and a lot of scams are there in the universities. Therefore, this technology will prevent those scams and the authenticity of the documents will be maintained. Second is the creator can own the data because it is his data, so he can own it. Another important opportunity is that it can create academic resource material and share it with the students and monitor their performance on blockchain platform. I remember the Maryville University of USA in 2019 was first institution to adopt blockchain technology for transcription of their degrees and diplomas. I am also associated with a mobile app from Singapore. There are two apps, in fact, Asli Medicine and Asli Document, as a legal advisor, where we are offering services of blockchain-enabled storage and sharing of data or transcription of data for students. So in this way, it can also help in evaluation of students and it can also help in lifelong learning. So there are a lot of issues where the blockchain technology can be used in education sector. Again, I would say that in universities of USA and some European universities, they accept the tuition fee and other fee in cryptocurrencies. So that is again a blockchain application. And the concept is that pay and use, whatever you use the services, you need to pay only for that. And now in our new education policy 2020, there is a lot of emphasis on use of online platform, digital platform, and even Niti Aayog, the apex think tank body of India, is also encouraging blockchain technology in diverse sectors. And one of them is education. So there are a lot of opportunities. Yes, comparing with other applications, the education is still in nascent stage, but now it is getting a lot of attention and people and institutions are using. It's cost saving also. I remember there is one university in Rome. It used to spend 20,000 US dollar for verifying the documents. Now with the blockchain technology using, they are spending less amount and faster verification of the documents of the students.
Right, sir, indeed. So now that you've discussed these things, I would really like to discuss what we're doing at IDS. So we are also into blockchain. We are also into blockchain education. So one product that we have is called Polyversity. So that is a university in Metaverse.
Oh, great.
And so the first thing that we've done, the first project is called Bharat Blockchain Network. So in the institutes of the country, we have set up one node with over 100 institutes, and we formed the blockchain ecosystem. And top of that, we are providing courses, education, and we want to build this university in the metaverse. So I would really like to get your views on this kind of a project, and what do you think is the possibility with such a thing?
Sure. So please do share me the details of your project. I would study it, and we at IOGA, that is Online Global Academy, is a part of the ILTES, launched during the deadly COVID era. So we can certainly cooperate and associate because our goals and mission is same. Therefore, we can also explore the avenues of mutual cooperation in disseminating the blockchain-enabled knowledge sharing on Metaverse. So I would love to go into it and share my thoughts.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Please do share.
And
share. Yeah.
sure. So now coming to the challenges that we are facing today in the blockchain adoption and industry, what are your views on that, and how do you think they are going to get overcome?
Yes. As the technology is not very old, it started in 2009, and gradually it is being applied for multi-purpose applications. One major issue is data security, because all these technologies, whether it is metaverse, AI, or blockchain, they are data-driven. A lot of data is stored. Some of them is a personal data in identity management issues, and some of them is a public data. So to maintain the privacy of data and to classify which is private data which need to be protected and which is a public data which can be easily thrown open, that is a big issue, how to ensure data security, because simultaneously we find that there are a lot of crypto heists, there are a lot of hacking of the sites and all these things. So data security is one major issue that needs to be addressed, and we need to have effective data protection law. Second is scalability, because these are they are not, it's a direct platform, and there is no third party intermediary. Therefore, we need a high speed, particularly when we are engaged in crypto transactions. Then we need a high speed. Now we are experimenting with 5G. Now some nations are even going forward to 7G and all these. So scalability is another issue. Third is cost. Because this is a new technology, we don't have still the experts who can properly handle it, the techno experts who can properly handle it. So how to reduce the cost of creating and managing the blockchain platforms. And fourth is to understand, because when we engage lectures, we have done a lot of programs in universities. The question is asked, and very interestingly and rightly also, that, sir, can I do this thing on blockchain? I used to say everything is not for blockchain. What is useful in blockchain, we have to understand. So it is not like an email, so you can send it to anybody. So cost factor and understanding of the technology and creating a workforce, a competent workforce, is again a major challenge. So
Right,
companies
sir.
are doing, the software development is again a major challenge. There is a IBM, Oracle, so Microsoft, Hyperledger. These are all new mode of deploying the platforms for functioning of blockchain. But these challenges will continue, and I'm sure the scientific or tech community will find adequate solution for that.
Right, sir. Indeed. So now coming to the ethical challenges in this domain. So with new technology, so that is just a tool. It's up to us how we want to use it, in what manner. So what are the ethical considerations, and how do we make sure that this technology is being used for good and for the benefit of the society?
Very good. You have raised a very important point, and very a point which is very close to my heart. See, I am also associated with the Government Blockchain Association of USA, and I am also associated with a core team of the GBA, which is formulating a standard ethical protocol for blockchain. Dr. Ingrid and myself and 3 other experts are there. World Economic Forum and Georgetown University, they are also engaged in drafting the ethical design framework. So the important point is governance, because this technology should not confine to few individuals. We are in a democratic world. So there should be inclusiveness, participation of the stakeholders. And we have recently come out, the tech community has come out with DAO, autonomous organization, decentralized autonomous organization. It is codifying the smart contract basic principles, rules of decision making. But of late, a lot of issues have come out in DAO functioning. So first thing is how to make it more democratic, how to ensure inclusive governance and participation in blockchain functioning. Second is identity. I remember I was reading a famous scholarly book of Don Scott, The Blockchain Revolution. And he has mentioned that 15%, close to 15% of the population of the world is not having their proper identity recorded. And that's why they are deprived from all welfare schemes, because they are not figuring out in the system. So identity management is another challenge. Every person in India also, if you remember, the Election Commission and the Government of India, I had a few discussions with some of the officials of Election Commission, that they are experimenting with blockchain technology for creating voter ID, or for putting the whole Aadhaar system into blockchain technology so that it is not hacked or it is not manipulated. So identity is a major issue. Then digital divide. We find that a major chunk of population, not only in India, but elsewhere also, are not getting proper fruits or proper understanding or proper application benefit of the technology. So how to bring them? The digital divide has to be narrowed down. And one more point which I have already mentioned is data protection. That is a central point, that how to ensure data protection, data safety, data security. And one more point I may say, in Europe and in USA, this argument is being raised that what about my right to be forgotten? Now new rights are developing. As I say, in Constitution of India, I have a right to life. Then the corollary of that is I have right to die. That is euthanasia, passive death. If I don't want to live, I may be allowed to die. I may be allowed to kill myself, not suicide, but that's a different aspect. Similarly, if I don't want my data to be stored, I have stored it in DLT, but later on I find that this should be erased, but as it is a mutable data, so you can't erase it. So what about my right to be forgotten? I want to be forgotten. I don't want my record to be there on the blockchain and it should be removed. But how to do it? That's a major challenge. That's an ethical issue. So there are many other issues. We are working on that. And they will continue to help us. And they will. One thing, as you rightly said, see, I always believe, and I always assert that technology is a neutral tool. Technology per se, whether it is a robot or it is a automated functioning, it is all used or misused or abused by human beings. So the first thing is that we must understand that if we are given with a very transformational, highly technical things, how we can wisely use it. If we misuse it, robot can be used for doing successful operation, and robot can also be used for killing a person. Drones can be used for effective and faster delivery, and drones can be used for spying, as we have seen cases. So we must understand that how these technologies can be properly and effectively used, and for that we need effective ethical as well as legal framework.
Right, sir, indeed. And so, what is the scenario in India today for this legal framework, and what other possibilities do you think are there for a nation like India,
Yes.
who and in terms of adopting this new technology, upskilling our workforce? What are the possibilities there?
Well, you have raised 2 points. One is how we can upskill our workforce. A lot of companies are doing this. You are doing, we are doing. We all are doing in our own way to educate the young minds about the technology and its pros and cons. So this task must go on. And we are conducting certification courses, diploma courses, workshops, sensitization programs with CII, FICCI, and all other institutions. Uh, Now, so far as legal aspect is concerned, that is more important. And I have been writing constantly to Niti Aayog and to Ministry of Information and Technology that we enacted in 2000 the IT Act, Information Technology Act, that take care of the internet and e-commerce and e-governance. Now we have a blockchain that is much advanced. Now we must create a new law, whole new setup of law covering all the blockchain related technology and its aspect, which also include cryptocurrencies. So, and I have suggested that on your platform, I would again repeat and say that we need a global legal framework, not just a country specific framework, because it's a global technology. It is a transboundary, transnational application of the technology. So let us create a global legal framework like we have the sea laws or international civil aviation law or intellectual property law. On that pattern, TRIPS, WTO TRIPS, what we say, and I teach also, we let us have a global ecosystem, legal ecosystem, which also take care of the smart contracts. Smart contract is one most important blockchain enabled functionality. Basically, it works on Ethereum, but there are other blockchain also. So on a smart contract, we can do a lot of global activities, trade, education, and so many things, financial transactions. So a smart contract is a unique evolution of blockchain technology. It's a blend of legal code and software code, which is autopiloted. To understand it like vending machine, the early area is vending machine. You drop a coin and you will get a desired product. It's already planned that way. That's a very old example, but now so I find that in some of the US states, they have dedicated blockchain law. They have a dedicated smart contract validation regulations. So similarly, we need to create a dedicated blockchain law, I would say blockchain act, like Information Technology Act, which should take care of smart contracts, cryptocurrencies, and other applications of the blockchain, and what will be the punishment if somebody misuses that, so on and so forth. So we have been working on drafting a model blockchain act for India, keeping in mind the global trends. So that is, in my opinion, is a current requirement, because without law, ultimately the courts cannot enforce smart contract if there is no law. We are governed by the e-contract, e-commerce, or the traditional contract. So we need a law so that in case of any dispute, the court can enforce those smart contracts. In US, it is being done. In Europe, some states are doing it. So this is all I think we should do in blockchain space. And I believe that it is a highly promising technology, and it is going to expand and expand. And in time to come, if I see by 2025 or 2030, we have a huge potential of this technology coupled with IoT, Metaverse, AI. So there is interoperability, and we can have many things to do.
Sure, sir. And so with that, thank you very much for appearing on the talk today. It was great listening to your thoughts and insights on blockchain technology and how it's going to evolve.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.